Hey, what's up, everybody, man? It's really hurting me not to make this video. Feel me? I had some other stuff to do to cap off my night, but I gotta knock this video out. You feel me? First things first. I am very disappointed in the NFL this year. This year has been rough. And from the get go, I've really gotten a chance to see the NFL's true colors. They not in it for the players. They don't care about the precautions of COVID. All they care about is the money, bruh. It's pretty much plain and simple. All they care about is the money they can make off of these dudes, man. It's just like a regular job, man. That's all they care about is the money. From the get-go, they was dead wrong. From the get-go, they was pretty much contemplating how they was going to go apart with the season. A lot of us thought the season was going to get canceled because, COVID is going around and just messing everything up. So they end up coming out saying, you know what? We're going to go ahead and have the season, start training camp. Teams only had 1 month to prepare for the game, and they canceled all the preseason games. As a fan, I didn't really care about them canceling preseason because who cares about preseason? Who gets hyped for a preseason game? Those games don't really count for real, and the main dudes don't really be playing. But as the season actually started, and you actually got a chance to see what was going on, man, you could see that teams really could have used the preseason. If it wasn't but 2 games, the preseason would have helped a lot as far as, rounding out the roster properly, some players are getting experience, etc. And then once the season started, it was just, it was horrible, They were celebrating at first about having no cases and all this other goofy stuff. But after a while, you've seen the true effects. Players not having training camp, not having OTAs, just not having the proper preparation to prepare for a season. You look at teams such as the 49ers that really, the 49ers went down the drain due to injuries, as well as other teams had key injuries such as the Broncos. They lost Cortland Sutton. Drew Lock got hurt early in the season. No Von Miller. They lost a lot of other dudes too, I believe. There's other few teams that really did suffer from injuries this year. And, that's partially because players' bodies were just not in shape. Like, the first 4 or 5 weeks, players was getting hurt left to right, So, you seen that effect on the game. Then, in the beginning, that's when the coronavirus cases started kicking in. A few games did get postponed. The NFL was really showing that we not about to play these games if players keep catching cases, which is obvious that it's going to be hard to maintain the coronavirus and people catching cases and still playing these games, because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you have dudes wearing masks at practice, you have dudes wearing masks at the game. Doesn't matter if you're practicing social distancing at practice. It truly doesn't matter. At the end of the day, these players are going home to their families who are regular civilians that's going to the grocery store shopping, dropping their kids off at daycare, shopping at Saks Fifth or Macy's because they husband is rich. They around their families, So, of course, they can contract the virus easier. And then you bring that back to the field with other players that were doing the same stuff. The spread was always going to happen. The NFL, they showed their true colors. After a while, the process went like this. As long as you don't got the virus, you can play. It doesn't matter if 6 of your teammates had it and y'all all be in the same facility, all you guys practice together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you guys technically have been, close contact. As long as you ain't got it, you can play. That's how it really has become in the NFL. Rather than safety precautions, it's become if you don't have it, you can play. This is why the spread keeps going on, because you're letting dudes that don't have it play, and then, you get the test, and all of a sudden, they got the virus. They probably been had it and been spreading it, but it's just they didn't have it. You allowed them to play, and which is why all these teams are going around with the COVID. The Ravens had it bad at a point. The Steelers, they had a little bit of it. The Titans had it bad at a point, And this is exactly why. I know I'm talking a little bit, but I'm getting to my point, Next, outside of coronavirus cases rising, you seeing teams have to go out there. The Broncos, no quarterback. You feel me? the Broncos was so down bad. They was really pleading to have one of their coaches suit up and play quarterback, you know? What team should be in that situation? You know, this is a part of your organization, the NFL. This is your league. Why are you letting a team supposedly go out there and play competitive ball with no quarterback? A dude that we never heard of off the practice squad had to step up and play quarterback. That was not a real game. They were never going to win that game, you know? They was already struggling from injuries, you know? So, you seen shit like that going, which is not normal and just is very unacceptable for the NFL to even let happen. They could at least delay the game or something, but you go make them go out there and just say, figure it out on your own. I know you ain't got no quarterback, but hey, just figure it out on your own. Same thing with my Browns, you know? Week 16, we had no wideouts. We was relying on practice squatters, you know? We lined up Njoku at tight end. At wide receiver, you know, or tight end. You know, you saying, oh, you ain't got no receiver corps. You know, you guys are trying to compete for a playoff spot. Oh, well, go figure it out. You know, that's unacceptable. Like, I'm not really feeling that. And then, for the playoffs to start and see that my Browns have to go out there and not only already play without guys like Denzel Ward, possibly the other corner, Kevin Johnson. We're missing our top lineman, Joe Batonio, who's a Pro Bowler. Who else are we going to miss? Possibly Sendejo, possibly Carl Joseph, possibly Malcolm Smith. We're possibly going to be missing a lot of dudes due to COVID already. Then we about to miss Cordell Hodges. Now we're about to be out there with no head coach. We missing our wide receiver coach, the O-line coach. You know, we about to have our offensive coordinator calling the plays who hasn't called the plays all year, you know? And we're going against the Steelers. You know, this is a playoff game. This is what the whole season was about, competing for a championship. And you're letting teams go out there and not have the right or even fair advantage due to this COVID shit, man. Injuries is one thing, but this COVID shit is really the reason why us and other teams will possibly be affected and might not even make the offs. And let's backtrack as well. Teams like the Cowboys, you know, the Cowboys, you know, they had a few games where COVID affected them, just like everybody else, where they had to bring up Ben DiNucci, you know, into the scenario and play some quarterback. You know, that one game could have got them into the offs, 1 or 2 games. You know, other teams around the league that were competing for a playoff spot at the last minute probably could have got in if some of their key players weren't hurt, you know? So, basically, long story short, the NFL ain't shit, and they don't care about these players, man. And they really have shown their true hand that all they care about is the money, man. So that's how I really feel. If your team ends up getting affected and not doing anything in the playoffs, you'll understand this video, you know? If your team has been affected with a lot of injuries, you'll understand this video, you know? You'll really understand this video. Even if your team hasn't really been affected, maybe you're the Chiefs or some shit, I don't know. You still don't understand as a human, you know? But that's all I gotta say, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this NFL COVID shit, man. Let me know everything, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I got some more content coming soon.